Everybody, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit, and last Sunday I made this modular saloon where the layers come off. And I need some stuff to populate it now. My game night's tomorrow and I have nothing in here. I have some bars and stuff, but they just didn't seem to be what I wanted. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make some little tables. And to make my little tables, I'm going to get these little plastic poker chips. And I'm going to get some hot glue. And you could use wood or anything on these. This is just how I'm doing it. I'm going to shove that down there. I'll let that cool. I'll do another one. You can use anything you have. I'm just using these poker chips because I have lots of them. Oops. And those are going to cool. I'm going to come around with a pair of scissors and snip off the excess. I have to go buy me another pair of scissors. These ones aren't good shit. Okay. And once you get that to this part here, you can get any fuzzies off if you need to. And then I'm going to get some lines to represent planks. It would be easier with a knife to do that cut. I did not make it all the way through because that knife ain't cutting shit. All right. Now, I'm not even going to bother putting chairs around these because that's just going to be too much shit in the way of what I'm trying to accomplish. Okay. And for my legs, run down to the Dollar Tree and get some push pins. and snip the little, I need something to catch these in. Snip the little metal pieces off the bottom of push pins. Alright, that's not going to catch shit. It was a nice thought. There, I caught one. Okay. I'm going to snip them into the garbage because I think I have a better shot at hitting my target. Sure do. Nice. How many do we need? 12? I got about 5. Let me put them in stacks so I know what I got here. 7. Oh, I actually have 12 pulled out. It's a miracle. Okay, so to do my little things, I'm just going to go dot, 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 shove them in, and get them in place, like that. Okay? That one needs more glue. No problem. Okay? Then, they don't have to be perfect, but you want them to be kind of ballparky. And if you flip this table over at this point, and get you a miniature, look at that, but a do. Too easy. I'm going to get my legs. This time, I'm going to get them in my hand and get them ready. I think it'll be easier to do it like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's do this last one. Okay, there we go. Now let's get them all flipped over. Let's get a little bit of super glue and go around the inside to make sure that these are stuck in place forever. Okay, I'm going to go throw these in front of the fan to sit for a while. So we got 3 tables. The next thing we need is a backstop for the bar. The backstop is the part of a bar that you see that has the alcohol and stuff on it. So I have this piece of wood from, I don't know what this is from. I have a bunch of them. It's from this Capella building set. And all it is a bunch of pieces of wood. And I thought I'd get that. Something like this. And this will be my backstop. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this flat edge. Oh, I'm going to make it a flat edge anyways. I'm going to stick this to it like this. Yeah, just like that. Okay. Just like that. I'm just going to drag that up a little bit. I'm going to make a little lid for it. Top shellfish area. Something like that. I'm going to get a very fine bead in here. And let that sit and cool. Okay, so we need to put some little doors for that. To make the little doors, we're just going to get something about yay big. That'll be little shelves or little cabinet doors. Okay. Then we're just going to cut these into little squares. I probably cut way more than I needed. So I'm just going to draw some lines so I can see where I'm working. I'm going to divide this roughly in half. And I'm going to divide each of those roughly in half. I'm going to center my doors on those. Get another glue stick. That was not centered. I obviously don't know how centered works. You'll have that. The goal is to make this stuff quick. It's not to spend all day making it perfect. Okay, so for my little doors here, I'm just going to cut a line kind of down the middle, like that. Just simulate that they're cabinets. Then I'm going to get something tiny on here to represent the door handles of those, so that when you paint it up, it's a little cool. And you can cut up some little toothpicks and glue in place, or do what I'm doing here. I have these ugly little things I don't get to use very often. They're very, very, very small, dumb looking beads. So I'm going to get my little really small looking dumb little beads. I'm going to get 2 of those into place, just like that. And like that, to be my handles on my doors. Again, you don't need beads. You could use little pieces of toothpick or whatever you have. Okay. I'm just going to get a piece of cardstock here to make a poker to move that back out of place. Oh, it's stuck there forever now. Okay, I can dig that. Oops. You son of a damn it. Can't get them. How did I do it before? Oh, tweezers. That's right, tweezers. Okay. Now we need little booze bottles. And there's a ton of different ways you could probably do that. But I think push pins might be kind of our salvation on booze bottles. The reason I say that is because if you look here at a push pin, it kind of has that going on already. So let's see if we can snip this little piece off here and snip this off here about that-ish. We can make a little skull bottle of booze. Too easy. Just get a little bit of that, shove it in the butthole of this skull. Look at that. Little skull booze bottle. Then you can get your other beads out too. Let's get this put away. I don't know how much of that we want to use. It's not too much good in there. Alright, let's see what we got. Here's a little of this, one of these. Let's get some more push pins. Let's see what we can do. Okay, so if it's not going to fit flush on there, I'm not going to try to force it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to snip those off and shoot those across the room. And shove these into the beads, if I can. And I'm going to make my little booze bottles that way. You could do potion bottles that way too, I suppose. Hadn't thought about it too much. This one's a little fancy. Let's see if we can do something a little nicer with this one. Okay. More beads. Interesting shapes might help, or they might hurt. I just don't know. Look at that one. That could be a bizzle bottle. Whoop. And you could just go on and on and on doing this for a while, I suppose. I don't know. It might get old at some point, or it might just continue to be kind of fun. Just making some different bottles of booze. And I'll tell you something else you can do with it really cool with these. Look at this. Pull this out. Snip off that butt flush. And you got a tiny little plate. See that? Nice. And you got this piece to use to make a booze bottle. You just have to snip it off flush. Now these won't stay forever like this. So once you get them glued into place on here, you're going to have to, and to do that, I'm just going to kind of lay them in here nicely. I'm going to get a little bit of glue on the back of some of them to hold them against the backstop. Like that. Just a little glue on the back of it to hold it in place for now. Okay, and we need some more booze bottles. We can get lazy or we can keep going at this rate. At this point here though, I think I'm just going to get that nail and shove it in that one. Just like that. Twist that. Shove it in. Okay. All right, that should be good enough for now. Let's get our blowtorch and get rid of any spider webs we don't want. And let's make sure these guys are home forever. And to do that, we're just going to get a dab of super glue. And then that's going to be a really nice, good looking backstop when that's painted up. It's just going to sit on there like that. Okay, so let's get a couple little decorations on top. We'll glue this bowl up here, or plate or whatever this is up here. Okay. And by the way, you can also make candlesticks with these if you didn't know. I don't think they're the best candlesticks, but to make a candlestick, you do that part. You snip that off at an angle. Get a little bit of this. Pull that little string off. And you can use that as a candlestick. But I don't want to do that with mine. I want to make mine like a little weird fat bottle. Okay. So I'm going to get a dab of glue in that hole. Just like that. Push that in there and straighten it up the best I can. Just like that. Then I'm going to get a dab of glue. Find somewhere for it to rest. Set it down. Something like that. And we're just going to get a tiny bit of glue to hold all that shit in place. All right, cool. All right, we need a bar still. The cheapest way to make a bar is to make a cardstock frame, but I'm not going to do that because we're in kind of a rush here. So I'm going to use just 2 pieces of this to make my bar. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my glue. I'm going to shove it down on there. Get it flush and sturdy. Check my guy height. It's good height for a bar. Cool. Okay, now we need to decorate it a little bit. So to do that, let's just glue this directly to the front here. With a tiny lip. We'll leave the littlest lip there. Okay. Okay. And we have that tiny little lip. That's going to represent the front. And we're going to snip off a thin piece of trim. Let's get rid of this irregular. Pardon me, holy shit. And then we want to decorate this up a little bit. So let's get a little bit of glue on this. About like that. Bring it a little bit down from the edge. Like that. Just like that. And like that. Okay. And get whatever you can that'll cut. Snip that off. Check for loose glue. Let's get a little bit of super glue on there to hold that in place. Just like that. Let that soak in. Okay. You could get as fancy as you want with that top part of the bar. What I could do here is I have like a little metal tool. I think it's for clay that I use for stuff. Yeah, I threw my glue gun on the ground too. Because I'm kind of a show off. So let's say you wanted to kind of bisect this into 2 major planks. Just get that. Oops. 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 That is not doing what I want at all. Normally you can kind of bully it through there relatively easily to get the look you want, but I'm having problems making it do that. Okay. And then that goes off to dry. When I come back, we'll paint these things up, and then maybe I'll make another episode after that and do a piano, but I'm not sure just yet. So thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon, and all that happy crappy. I am going to go ahead. I'm just going to get a little bit of glue on the sides too, because I'm worried about those coming loose. Okay, cool. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, and all the stuff that helps the channel grow. Leave comments and such. And check out www.dungeon-swag or dungeon-swag.com. There's a discount code in the description that'll help you save 25% off your first month's subscription from our miniature service. Also, check out our Discord. Super cool place. See you later.